now that I spent some time with the GoPro Mission 1, there are some things that I did not like. So I pre-ordered this and this finally came in. I'm pretty excited for this. It's the new GoPro Mission 1 Pro. I bought this with my own money. I hope it's actually worth it. So I pre-ordered this a while back when it was announced because it came with a free point and shoot grip. I'm pretty excited for this because this is the first 1-inch sensor action camera. How cool would it be that this camera could potentially be a waterproof Pocket 4, assuming that the image quality coming out of the 1-inch sensor is good. Before we start, let's see what comes in the box. There's a sticker here that says do not open, mic drained, not a door. I've never had a GoPro before, so is this something that's new? I guess people have been trying to open this and it's not supposed to open. So on this side where it had that sticker, it says do not open because it's not a door. It looks like a door. I can see why people are trying to open this. So on the other side where you insert the battery and the micro SD card, you have to pull down on this little latch here and then out. The lens hood that comes with the Mission 1 Pro is just rubber. I didn't think this was rubber when I first saw it, but I guess it makes sense because it adds a little bit of protection to it. It's flexible, but it feels like it's pretty good quality. So since I pre-ordered this from GoPro, it also came with a point and shoot grip. So the case itself feels solid. The Mission 1 Pro already had a bit of weight on it, and putting on the cage adds a bit more, so you can definitely tell it's quite heavy. So there's also a couple of features on the shooting grip. So if you remove the cold shoe shutter mount, you can detach the side of the grip here by pressing the button on the front of the cage. And the purpose for that is to access the battery doors without removing the GoPro from the cage itself, which is actually pretty useful. And also on the grip, there is a unlock and lock slider. And what that does is that when you have it on unlock, you can press it in and it will remove the grip completely. And that allows for quick mounting situations where you just want the most minimal setup. And you don't have to take it out of the cage to do so, which is actually pretty cool. Make sure when you put it back on, you hear those clicks, and also shift it to lock to prevent accidentally triggering it. So including the entire setup with the cage and point and shoot grip, it's still pretty compact, but it definitely has some weight to it. So going through the first initial setups, I noticed that it requires you to download the GoPro app in order to continue. I know there's a lot of discussions out there regarding DJI products and how they force you to download the DJI Mimo app in order to activate your camera, but it looks like GoPro is doing the same thing. I personally don't mind because I think it's the easiest way to keep your cameras up to date. I just downloaded the app. I'm gonna do some firmware updates, and when that's done, I'm gonna test this guy out. So I took some time, went to the settings and kind of set it to how I would like to use this camera. Let's see if I can get some good shots with that 1-inch sensor. I'm also filming everything on the GoPro Mission 1 Pro, so the video and audio that you're hearing is going to be straight from the camera. Everything you saw in those B-roll shots, as well as what you're seeing right now, is filmed on the GoPro Mission 1 Pro. I have the settings set to 8K 24 frames per second in 4:3, so I don't have ND filters yet, so I actually have the shutter set to auto. How do you guys think it's looking so far? So I know a lot of people use these type of cameras as action cameras, obviously to do like extreme sports. I don't do a lot of extreme sports, so I thought I'd try out this camera as a regular camera. So I buy all these cameras with my own money. Honestly, filming content and using these cameras is just a way for me to justify the cost that I'm spending on these things. And the reason why I picked up this camera is because it has that 1-inch sensor. I thought it would be a great camera to add to my gears, because if that 1-inch sensor is good, this thing could be a waterproof pocket 4. And what that means is that I can film in any weather conditions, do some hikes, and I don't have to worry about breaking my camera. This thing costs more than the Pocket 4. So to me, it only makes sense for me to compare it to something like the Pocket 4 because of that 1-inch sensor, which is the main point why I wanted to get this camera to begin with. But that's gonna be for a different video. I hope it does look good because this thing was not cheap. Let's go back inside and check out the shots. So now that I'm back inside, I just want to see how it looks in the studio. So this is how it looks on my Sony camera, and this is how it looks on the GoPro. So one of the main reasons why I picked up the Mission 1 Pro is that it can film in open gate. What that is that it's using the full sensor to film like a 4:3 video. And the great thing about that is that I can crop it to vertical or horizontal in post, which makes it a lot more convenient because I can use the footage for either shorts or just regular videos. So what do you guys think? How does this look in a studio environment? So now that I spent some time with the GoPro Mission 1, there are some things that I did not like. I know that first and foremost that this is an action camera, but even on GoPro's marketing page, they do show it as a cinematic pocket camera. So the thing that I noticed is that if you want to set this camera to 4K 24 and you want to follow the 180-degree shutter rule, which most people would do if they want to film a cinematic video because that will give you the most natural motion blur. If you choose to set the fixed shutter at 1/48 and you also want to leave the stabilization on, so hyper smooth on, it creates this weird blur when you're trying to pan the camera left and right like this. When you turn off hyper smooth though, that issue just goes away completely. And I think the reason for that is that the shutter speed is just too slow to keep up with the stabilization. Because when you set the shutter to auto, it kind of works with the stabilization. It might not seem like such a big deal because you can just turn off the stabilization like you would do in bigger camera rigs if you want to just film cinematic videos. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are interested in the ILS version, which is the interchangeable lens system. It's the one that has the micro four third mounts that you can just attach different lens to. So for the people that are interested in the ILS system and they're planning to use it with stabilization to get like action shots, it might not turn out the way you want it to be. It's just something to be aware of. So the second most annoying thing about the GoPro Mission 1 is the shooting menu. So what's annoying about this is, let's say you want to change some settings. So you have to scroll down, you keep on scrolling down. To get through some settings, you keep on scrolling down. You want to change more settings, you want to go to the audio, you keep on scrolling down to look at all the shortcuts. And to get out of this screen, you can't swipe anywhere to get out. You literally have to scroll all the way to the top to exit. It might not seem like such a big deal, but if you're just constantly changing settings and you have to go through this menu each time to change it, and you have to go all the way to the top just to make like micro changes, it gets pretty annoying. So the third most annoying thing about the Mission 1 is the shooting settings. So if you're someone who's planning to use this camera fully on auto, there's something really annoying about that. When you set it to auto shutter, auto ISO, or auto white balance, there is no way to see what. Just a disclaimer here, so you can actually see the shooting settings on your display. It's just turned off by default, so you have to manually turn it on. So what you'll have to do is go through the menu, go to the preference page, scroll down until you see displays, and then right here, capture info, you just gotta turn that on. So once you turn that on, you're gonna be able to see the settings on top of your screen. Also, if you're planning to use any settings on manual, the EV comp becomes grayed out and you can't even set it to minus or plus. And also that's really annoying because what if you just want to set one setting and you just want the EV comp to balance your ISO? It's not going to do that. Other than that, I think the footage did turn out pretty well. I'm going to be comparing this to the Pocket 4 in another video just to see how it holds up with that 1-inch sensor. So what do you guys think about the GoPro Mission 1 Pro? So should you buy it? I would say hold off for now until they can push out some firmware updates, especially for the people who are planning to use this for a cinematic setup. And for the people that are planning to use this as just an action camera, I would say it is way too expensive for that. Because you can get great action cameras like the DJI Action 6 or the Insta360 Ace 2 Pro for half the price. If you guys enjoyed the video and you want to follow my content creation journey, give me a like and subscribe. Until the next one, peace.